Happy Monday, family. Today, we're stepping into a conversation that can make or break a student's financial future. And too many of our families are walking into it without the truth, without the language, and without the protection they deserve. Because when it comes to loans, interest, and the real cost of borrowing, colleges are not going to slow down and explain it to you. But I will. This is episode 2. Understanding loans, interest, and the true cost of borrowing. I'm Kris Coleman, your guide, your partner, and your sister girl in the struggle. And I'm so glad you stepped into the room with me today because before your child signs anything, before you co sign anything, before you take on debt that will follow your family for years, you need to understand exactly what you are agreeing to. During our time together, we're going to break down the difference between federal and private loans, what the interests really mean in dollars, how repayment actually works, and how borrowing today shapes your child's life tomorrow. We're going to talk about the traps, the fine print, and the numbers colleges hope you don't calculate. I'm walking right beside you, family. We can do this. We will do this. Let's get started.
Yeah, the journey starts right here, right now. Let's go. Building futures, watching all the dreams grow. With Kris Coleman, your guide. A Fulbright scholar, JD, MBA, and Masters of History. Welcome to the Black Family College Guide. Real-time wisdom side by side. Your roadmap to success with knowledge inside.
When our people first stepped into freedom after the Civil War, they were handed contracts written in language meant to confuse them. Sharecropping agreements, labor contracts, land leases, documents that looked like opportunity but carried traps in the fine print. And the elders learned quickly. If you don't understand the terms, you don't understand the cost. If you don't understand the cost, you can't protect the family. And if you can't protect your family, someone else will profit from your confusion. Student loans are the modern version of that same pattern. They look simple, they look official, they look like the normal way to pay for college. But beneath the surface, beneath the friendly language and the congratulations and the you're eligible for this amount, there are terms that shape your child's future for decades. Terms that determine how much they'll owe, how long they'll owe it, and how much extra they'll pay for the privilege of borrowing money to get an education. So today, we're going to slow this down. We're going to talk about loans the way our elders talked about contracts, calmly, clearly, with our eyes wide open. Because you deserve to understand what you're signing. Your child deserves to understand what they're agreeing to. And your family deserves to make decisions rooted in truth, not pressure. Let's start with the simplest truth. A loan is not money. A loan is a promise to pay back more than you borrowed. A promise that follows your child long after graduation. A promise that shapes their choices, their freedom, their stress, their opportunities. And the moment you accept a loan, you are accepting the interest that comes with it. Interest is the quiet part, the part most families don't talk about, the part award letters don't highlight. The part that turns a $5,000 loan into $7,000 or $8,000 by the time it's paid off. The part that turns a $20,000 loan into $30,000 or more. the part that makes students' loans feel endless. Interest is the cost of borrowing, and it's the reason we cannot treat loans like free money. There are two main types of federal loans your child may be offered: subsidized and unsubsidized. And the difference between them is not small. It's the difference between manageable and overwhelming, between predictable and stressful, between a loan that behaves like a tool and a loan that behaves like a trap. A subsidized loan is the one that gives your child a little breathing room. The government pays interest while they're in school. That means the loan doesn't grow while they're studying. It stays still. It waits for them to graduate. It gives them time. An unsubsidized loan does not wait. It grows from the moment it is dispersed. It grows while they're in class. It grows while they're studying. It grows while they're sleeping. It grows every single day. And if your child doesn't pay the interest while they're in school, that interest gets added to the loan. And then the new interest goes on top of the old interest. That's how a loan becomes a burden. Not because the student didn't anything wrong, not because the family was careless, but because the system is designed to make borrowing feel easy and repayment feel heavy. And then there's the Parent Plus loan. The loan that looks like help but behaves like a trap. The loan that sits quietly in the awards letter as if it's part of the aid package. The loan that carries the highest interest, higher fees, and highest risk. The loan that is in the parent's name, not the student's. The loan that can follow you into retirement. The loan that can be taken from your Social Security if you fall behind. I want to say this gently but clearly. Parent Plus loans are not a solution. They are a burden, a heavy one. And families, especially Black families, are targeted with them more than any other group. So when you see a plus loan in the awards letter, pause, breathe, ask yourself, is this the only way? Or is this the way they want me to think it's the only way? Because there are always other ways. They may not be glamorous. They may not be the school your child's dreamed of at first, but they are ways that protect your family instead of stretching it thin. Now let's talk about something most families don't realize. The loan limit for freshmen is low on purpose. The system knows you're cautious the first year. They know you're watching the numbers. They know you're trying to make a wise decision. So they keep the freshman loan limit small. But sophomore year, junior year, senior year, the limits go up and up and up. And suddenly, the school that felt affordable enough becomes a place where your child is borrowing more every year just to stay enrolled. This is why we don't make decisions based on 1 year. This is why we don't let first year package fool us. This is why we look at the 4-year picture, not just the 1-year celebration. Because the truth is, loans are not just numbers. They are years of repayment. They are monthly bills. They are choices your child may not be able to make because of the debt they carry. They are jobs they may have to take. Cities they may not be able to move to. Opportunities they may have to turn down. So, how do you talk to your child about loans without overwhelming them? And I want you to hear this with love. Your child's future deserves more than a decision made in excitement. It deserves a decision made in clarity. So, how do you talk to your child about loans without overwhelming them? You bring them into the truth gently. You say, I want you to have a choice when you graduate. You say, I want you to start your life with freedom, not stress. You say, let's look at this together so you understand what it really means. Because this is not about saying no. This is about saying, let's make sure this yes doesn't cost you more than you realize. And when you understand the loans, when you understand the interest, when you understand the long-term cost, you can make decisions that protect your child's future instead of limiting it. Our midweek blog will break down the difference between subsidized, unsubsidized, and Parent Plus loans in plain language, with examples that show how much each one really costs over time. You can look for that on Wednesday. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope something you heard settled in your spirit and gave you exactly what you needed for this moment in the journey. Come back next Monday. I'll be right here, ready to continue the real conversation with you. Bye, y'all.
Yeah, the journey starts right here, right now, let's go. Building futures, watching all the dreams grow. With Kris Coleman. Check out the blog, new drops every Wednesday. Back next time, don't miss a single day.